something I say. For example, let's
understand.
talk about Ecuadorian food.
Okay, you give
And
them
you
the-
say, well, sushi is delicious.
Okay, yeah.
Yes? That's what I do in speaking too, because generally students say, "Per, speak a lot. But they will speak about whatever topic that is not relevant to the things that we're discussing. And instead of you correcting them, it's better that their partners correct themselves. So the teacher initiates topic, and you continue discussing. If you're off topic, you will raise this only. You will not say anything. Just say like off topic, so the student goes back to what he's talking. Yes? Let's talk about something. I'm gonna give you one each. Here. You give please to Carlitos. Sorry, they're very fresh. To Carlitos and Leo. And here, let's give two for you. So in case if you hear something that is off topic, you will just raise your stick. You will not say anything. You will not correct. Okay? Don't interrupt. Just do this. I will say a topic. You please, I want 2 or 3 mischievous students that would like to say something that is irrelevant. Typical student. Okay? Let's see the topic. My topic is Ecuadorian soccer. Okay? Too difficult? Too difficult? Okay, it's okay?
Yeah.
You can discuss? Fine. So let me begin. Yesterday I saw on TV a soccer game from Independiente del Valle versus Boca Juniors in Fox. Miss?
You want me to continue?
Yes, everybody is talking.
I didn't say that I don't like soccer.
Okay. Keep on talking. We're talking about soccer. Continue.
Yeah.
You don't like soccer? You have seen people...
Okay. I thought if I say I don't like soccer, I don't have any kids.
No, everybody talks. You don't like
That would
soccer?
be okay
Why?
because if you're not familiar with the topic, so the idea is that I don't really like soccer. My kids love it, but I like to see people running there, and I don't understand the rules and things like that, offside or those terms that I'm out of it. In fact, I don't like men shouting stupidly and then getting afraid of the people that are around them.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to be more involved in watching soccer matches, but my schedule doesn't give me time to watch because at the moment they're playing, I'm working. So it's kind of frustrating when my partners or my friends ask me, "Hey, do you watch a game?" And I say, "No, I'm sorry, I didn't have time. Yeah, I have to. I was cooking dinner, or I was working." So yes,
Yeah, off topic,
yeah.
definitely. Cooking dinner. What does that have to do with soccer?
Yeah.
I got it.
Yes. Leo, continue.
Yes, I was watching the same game last night, and suddenly my little son asked me to play video games with him, and I thought that it was.
Yeah, it's a video game. Nothing. No way. You're paying attention. We're doing everything. We're doing listening. We're doing speaking. We're doing using coherence. Yes. Continue, Carlitos.
I also watched the game last night, and I think that Independiente deserves to win the cup. But also Emelec lost.
Yeah, Independiente. Yes.
Right.
The topic was Independiente. Yes. And he said Emelec. Okay. Emelec doesn't matter, Carlitos. Sorry to disappoint you, but no. Okay. Continue, Juanqui.
Well, honestly, I didn't watch the game. I was working on my computer. At midnight, I saw the result.
Yes,
I don't care.
yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Continue.
I did not watch the game either, but I was cooking some vegetables when I was.
For the love of God, yes? And you will see 20 flags raising at the same time because they know that the topic is soccer and they should focus on that. So for any type of discussion, well, you don't have to do with the sticks. I do with sticks because I want to see hands up. But you can do with papers or just raise your hand or do this, a sound on the table. Okay, it could be many ways, but the sounds on the table tend to lose other people's attention.
This actually would be great for reading and writing classes
Yes.
because they usually write sentences
For
that are
discussions.
topics.
Yes, for discussions, yes, and well, in that case, yeah, you could use that, maybe. Yes, if you have we're going to do that activity next week.
I'm sorry.
Was I going
Yeah,
to
today's
do
listening,
the-
yeah.
Yes.
How do you call this activity?
Huh?
How do you call this?
It's not really a specific activity. This is how I can
Off
control
topic.
my
Off topic,
students off
yeah,
topic.
yeah,
Yes.
I just wrote
Yes.
topic activity.
Yes, off topic. It's just off topic. But this is a not digital one.
Yeah.
We're also going to practice today the one with the PowerPoint and time slides. And we're going to have an ECC or a practice in pairs. I am not going to give you grades. We're going to have like the problem solving thing. Yes? We all here have taught and teach already upper intermediate courses. Yes? And for these courses, we need to be prepared for what they will receive when they graduate. So it's very important that we're acquainted of all the things and all the steps that follow the ECC. I'm not going to go deep down into the ECC, but we're going to do a small practice. Okay? So, this is the picture. And obviously, first you should ask me these questions. This is the stage 2, in which the student asks the examiner the questions. So, what is the idea here? The idea here is that you ask me the questions, and in the moment of the advice, I'm going to show you my PowerPoint with the timed. So the student has to speak as long as the slide is there. If the slide changes, the student has to change the topic, has to change what he's saying to another idea. Okay? So, let me tell you about this problem. First, Tony, ask me the question.
What is the problem?
Well, the problem is that my sister is celebrating her birthday party, but she doesn't know where to celebrate her birthday. Monkey.
And what are the possible solutions?
Well, there are 2 possible solutions. The first one is to celebrate the party at home, and the second one to celebrate the party at a nearby cafeteria. Carlitos.
Okay, what are the disadvantages for each solution?
Thank you. The disadvantages for the first solution are that first, the noise might disturb the neighbors. And second, the house will be a mess after the party, and there won't be anyone volunteering to clean. For the second option, the club, the cafeteria, the disadvantage of this is that there won't be many adults to supervise the children. And the second disadvantage of this is that probably it will be expensive to celebrate a birthday in a cafeteria rather than celebrating it at home. Okay? So, hold your horses. Let me show you my slide with timing.
Something that I want to, remark on this one is what Andrea is doing is modeling. Modeling the first activity, how they have to be approached to the ECC oral exam, because that is something that the students have to be very familiar for the oral exams, right? And then when we prepare for the, it also will be included a little bit in the listening speaking part for the last week. So some students who decided not to take the ECC preparation course, they will be able to handle the speaking part of it. So it's not just going to the ECC speaking preparation course.
Thank you, Miss. And I also don't call it ECC, I call it problem solving activity.
Right.
Yes? So here begins. Stage 3 is your advice. So we are in pairs, perfectly paired. So you are going to tell your partner the advice in the order that it appears here. Let me give you a preview. Look, you're going to see your option. You're going to tell them your option. You don't say, I choose option 1. No. You tell specifically which option you like. I choose to have my party at home. I choose, if I were your sister, I would choose to have my party in a nearby cafeteria. For 3 reasons. First, second, third. And the slide will automatically change when the time is up to tell me what is the option that you didn't choose. On the other hand, if they see blue, they know that they have to say a transition signal that establishes contrast. Previously, obviously, I have already taught them here in the board transition signals adequate to express the unchosen option. You see, it changed. So then you tell me a valid reason why you think that is not a good option. And finally, after they finish with their with the reason, they have to tell me an example. I call it detail shower. They know what is a shower. And I say, Miss, we have to speak a lot. And I say, yes, it's a detail shower. I want you to shower me with details of everything that you have lived about this topic. Okay? So, let's practice. Get together, please. First, choose the person that is going to give the advice. Not both of you. Only one person will give the advice. So first, before we start, let me check comprehension. Leo, what do we have to do?
Well, we have to get it first and tell why and give the reasons why you chose.
Very good. Jimmy, is everybody going to speak?
No, just one person.
Okay, then you will have the opportunity to have another problem and another person talking. All right? Now, what will happen with the slides, Miss Hilda? What will happen with these slides?
It is timed,
Yes.
so we have to respect according to the colors and the advice they are giving us to find out the transition words to move it to the other step.
Thank you. Tony, if the slide doesn't move, that means you have to continue talking, or you stop because you ran out of ideas?
And she continued talking. No?
Yes, right, correct. Juanqui, and after this stage, the other person, what will your other partner do after this practice?
That's what I was wanted to ask because you didn't mention
Okay,
it.
ask me the question. Very good. Yes. So after this, your other partner will have the opportunity to give advice back, but with another problem. Is it clear? Okay,
So,
perfect.
just to clarify the thing.
Yes.
I will be the speaker and he's only the listener.
Yes,
He
and
doesn't
then
have
you will
to
be the
take
speaker.
notes or
Switch back.
anything.
Yeah, switch roles. Ready?
Okay.
Okay, go.
Okay, let me start.
I think,
I should give my option. Okay, I choose to organize the party at home.
Alright, because it's quite, nothing in the house can be,
And also,
it's a place of parties or celebrations, they go really crazy and people get drunk, and you don't like that, it's gonna be with the young belongings at home. I know that secret Sunday, it's gonna be more expensive, but that's what I look for belongings. Another good
Everybody will be safe.
resource is because if you don't have the internet, they're
But that's your job
of
as a
complaining or
At the same time,
you don't have
So
to
this is
worry
your
about
time.
buying things or you have to worry about having phones to blame. So you don't have to make the effort to have
That's your
everything
gift
going on.
okay.
And finally, I think
Because the mess of the house will be a mess after the party.
Oh,
I don't think
to organize a
that house
party
would
in
be
the
the best
yes, because first it would be
maybe your neighbors are not really used to
And
having
another
these
thing is
kinds of
it's
functions,
not-
and
it's just
you
like
play loud music, loud music,
place.
you
You
like
know it's a
oh,
good
why
friend.
do you
Since
fit
we are
a
handling
we
to
have a single person in my house and you was stressed and
Right.
you come in
And
and
also,
you make a party, you make a lot of noise,
with the money that
that's
they
really
didn't
annoys me.
use for that.
So I think
use that money
it's like
for
to good,
besides
especially when you have
for
when you want to
home.
keep a good relationship with your neighbors.
Also, with that person, yeah, also like the
you need to consider people in front of you. Because you like you can have a better relationship. And besides, now I think
to talking.
Give me more examples.
you don't.
No, it's fine. It's quite
Getting the staff to help you with the services. They can help you with certain food. They can help you control everything is under the
Also know that we're
also
under
they are like very
adults.
they are the experts in preparing food in preparing the drinks and making a good environment for people to enjoy the moment for the events. Maybe they have already agreed with you that the food if you want to serve the kind of drinks you can serve and you can offer to
Organize,
yes.
like clean enough.
And
a couple of hours,
they're going to like
Thank you. So we had one side speaking activity. Now comes the other side.
Okay.
Okay? The idea of this is not that you speak the right amount. The idea of this is you speak enough. Because my timing was 2 minutes to give reasons. 2 minutes is a lot. But if I make them practice 2 minutes in class, in the exam, they will feel more comfortable to speak a lot more, to speak as much as they spoke in class. I am trying to establish how can I say this? Just to make them able to be a routinary activity. How much and how often do I practice this with my SSC students? I practice this 2 or 3 times a week. Yes? Before finishing the class, I enter, they know I will put the PowerPoint and I show them the problem and they just speak to your partner. I am not there to check. I just monitor. I couldn't monitor today because there are a lot of cables here and I'm afraid of falling. But generally what I do is like walk around the classroom like, oh my God, this nice thing here in the wall. But I'm listening to who's practicing and who's not. Basically, it's that. Students like it, yes?
During that time, are you taking notes of mistakes you hear?
Not necessarily, because this is an independent practice. I have already had a first speaking practice. This is for class, and after this practice, after enough practices, I feel that that's enough, then I tell them they have to have another individual practice with me again. But this one is independent. I'm just monitoring that they're speaking, that they're using transition signals, that they're organizing their speech. Sometimes their partner gives them advice. When I set them correctly, heads and tails, remember? I put the heads with the tails and sometimes switch back the tails with heads, with other heads. So they can give advice to their partners. They give them peer assessment. Yes, for me it's very important that they give their own feedback, that I don't have to be the only one that's saying, you don't have to do this, you have to do this, but the other classmates will know too. They say, oh my God, but you didn't say that you didn't like this reason, you didn't use a transition signal, you have to use a transition signal. And the other person, what is a transition signal? The teacher explained. On the other hand, however, so there is always someone to help. So in a class from ICC, for example, I have a lot of students. I have 22 students. It's kind of impossible to be listening and taking notes of everything, but when I listen to a general mistake, for example, they say, what are the disadvantages? I come to the board, write disadvantage, and I tell them, listen, wait, stop. Did you say this word? How do you say that word? Disadvantage. It's not disadvantage. Please repeat. Disadvantages. Disadvantages. And I say here, it's the same thing that happens with orange. What is the plural? Oranges. The same thing happens with this. It's the same spelling. So you say oranges, disadvantages. Do you listen? Yes. Okay, repeat. What is it? Disadvantages. Please ask your partner the same question. And just sometimes I have to stop it because there are like very huge errors that need to be corrected. Errors need to be corrected. Mistakes, no. Yes? So, let's go now with your other partner. Let's see, very quickly, this is the other.
Couple of suggestions for that. That would be, like Andrea said, an independent practice. But the first, the second time, but the third time they could record on their cell phones and they will send it to the other and send it as a homework with a template to catch up the accuracy, pronunciation, pauses that they make, transitional words. So give it a feedback in a written way from one peer to the other instead of being orally or in a discussion way. So to send them as a homework, especially on Thursday, so you have plenty of time for Monday to come with that template or paper to discuss with your partner. You know, I listen very carefully your audio recording, and I did something that I got. So the teacher will give them, 5 or 10 minutes to discuss and to receive the feedback on the paper. So for the coming practice, that they will be more aware of those little things that when you speak sometimes, especially when you're learning, when you don't speak, you don't listen to yourself. So that is something is vocab, and that's the idea to make them create that error awareness they should have in the moment they are speaking, right? That's
yes, and generally when I have their tests, like their oral practices outside, I tell them to come out with their cell phones. So they can see later at home. I tell them like it's the mea culpa section. So they have to tell me what's their problem in the next day. If it's the next day, if it's from Thursday to Monday, I tell them to write an email. But generally this is important because they are like Ms. Hilda said, this covers the self-awareness that most of our students don't have. Yes? Well, let's go with the second one very quickly so we can move on. This is the second problem. So the person who was listening now will be the speaker. So you should ask me these questions, please. Leo, ask me the first question.
Yeah, what is the problem?
Well, the problem is that the city council has given to the major $1 million to work on 2 possible projects for the community. Jimmy.
What are the possible solutions?
Well, the first solution could be to create a hospital in the center of the city, and the second one would be to install 2 daycare centers for kids. Is
What are the disadvantages of each solution?
well, the disadvantages for the first option are that the city hospital will have to be built in one part of a very historical park. Yes, that would be one disadvantage. And the other disadvantage would be that the city hospital will require more budget that probably the city might not have. For the second option, building daycare centers will help only people that have children. It won't benefit everyone. And the second disadvantage of this is that it won't give job markets and job places, job positions for other people, just for teachers and mothers that will likely help in this daycare center. In your opinion, which would be the best solution to this situation? Which would be the best place to build in our city? So here is when you go here and begin.
Well, I think that building the hospital will be the best solution.
Be specific, don't say solution one.
A new hospital, besides taking care of people, will bring more jobs to the community. And the only problem is about the building of this hospital is that it will be part of the park, and that in some way will affect the city. But I think that besides bringing more jobs and taking care of people, we have a place where we can go in the event of an emergency. What if something happens at midnight, you have a sick child, or you feel sick yourself, you may go to this place and look for care. Besides, having medicine, not only you but some relatives who live near you can benefit from this hospital. I didn't choose the daycare center because besides, it sounds like a good idea, but it won't bring too many jobs to the community. On the other hand, the children will benefit and the parents, but it's only that. There are not too many opportunities for other people to make money and to work. They will do it in the hospital. Children will be taken care, but only working mothers will benefit.
Well, because I was not looking at it. Yeah,
like I said before, the hospital would be a good idea, but on the other hand, we'll take some part of the park, city park, but I think it's still better than the other option, which is also okay.
I lost because I was not looking at the slide.
Yeah, you're not paying attention.
I ran out of examples.
The typical student. Okay, thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
In the last part, the shower detail is shower detail for both or the
For you choose one example,
okay.
they can tell an experience. It could be a positive or a negative experience. It doesn't matter.
But based on the option you choose.
Yes. No, not necessarily. You can choose about the other option. You say, I didn't choose the other option for this reason. I
Okay.
remember that my mom used to, things like that. Sometimes I don't use the PowerPoint, but I give them the 3 colors in papers.
You told us that the colors represent specific signal words.
For them, yes.
Can
If
you
you ask,
tell please the colors again?
you can choose the colors.
Oh,
For you, it could
okay.
be green, yellow, and orange.
Okay.
But I'm a girl. I love pink.
Okay.
So
yeah,
my
I wouldn't
students-
use pink.
My students ask me like, Miss, this is the blue section. I say it's blue, and they know it's pink, blue, red.
Okay.
And when they're in the exam, like, oh my God, red. Like they forgot the example. They say, oh my God, red. And the next time they do it, they know it's pink, blue, red. So they come out and they say, well, I do this, this, and that. On the other hand, they are already educated. And their partner, sometimes I give them this. So the partner only shows this. Okay, so only one color. I don't have to say why not. They know that with this is the option that they like. This is the option that they didn't like. And this is the one that is critical. This is the one that makes them win or lose. This is the example, this is the experience. This is when they connect the things that are not real from the prompt with their own reality. This is the one that I care the most. okay, this is part of the exam, but this is the one that puts la sabrosura in the test. So generally, I can do it many ways. You see, I can do it with these as a teacher thing, you know. Sometimes they do it independently. Sometimes more independently with the slides. I don't do anything. I'm not clicking. I'm just listening, monitoring. Yes? I can send you these slides because they already have the time, but they're just regular slides with timing. And they have the colors that they know. So if you ever like see one of my students in class, they know that it's pink, blue, and red. For Tony, it could be yellow, green, and orange because he's all about nature. Yes? Yes. Carlitos would be MLA colors, blue, gray, and light blue. Yes? But the idea is that we educate our students not only with words, but with colors they can memorize. They have the colors in their head. Yes. So that's what I do. It's kind of different because using the book all the time in ECCE courses, it's so boring for them, for me, for everyone. So these kind of activities kind of refresh their day. And sometimes they say, Miss, please, let's practice speaking. Perfect. 5 minutes of practice. One problem, both of them will practice, and you don't waste like too much time planning this because you already have it. And it also develops their students' fluency, which is very important, and elaboration activities. Also, if they have this, you say, come on, dude, you went off topic. Like, you're speaking so much things that you didn't know what you were doing. So you could mix the two activities, and the other partner will tell them and give feedback on the things that they have already said if they are off topic. Okay.
Another situation that happens in most of the ECC courses is what you consider you run out of options because of the speaking prompt. I don't know who I suggested that you could ask your students to create their own problems based on local situation. They could come up with the problem they come in class.
In fact, I invented this.
Yeah, and it's not something like you say, where can I find those prompts on the Canva page? They usually upload 2 or 3 examples like those, but no more than that. And then, and remember, sometimes they are typical examples from that country. So it's better they would create their own. We have plenty of problems here in our kid that they could create their own, and they would, develop the real speech in that.
I can share some prompts. I have like 10 or more than 10 prompts that I have found on the internet.
But you have graded. What I'm suggesting is just to push your students to create their own, right? And then switch it. So I create this one, give me yours, and I will talk with yours, and so on.
Or you can bring pictures, and they can come up with a question.
Right.
Like for example, this case,
like in
this is really not the problem, but I adapted it. The same thing happened with this. This is not the problem, but I adapted pictures to make up my own situation. Yeah. Well, the next point here today is talking about developing an active and independent speakers. Okay, why do I have the "and" here? I'm not sure. I'm sorry. Typo.
In internet, you can also find a lot of problem solution topics, essay topics. Yeah, they help you a lot with writing and also with this kind of speaking.
Could you change a student that speaks nothing from one month to the other?
Yeah.
How could you do it?
A lot of discipline as steps like you are passing through.
Right. It's important that we establish I don't know, something that is more like a speaking routine. Even though sometimes, for example, we're using not upper intermediate, I'm talking about all courses. When you're using the high intermediate course, the low intermediate courses, the intermediate levels, and freshmen, for example, I have my students have dictations every day. It's something that it's routinary. They know that when they arrive, I begin the class with a little engagement activity, and about the activity, they will have a dictation. And it's something that they are used to doing. And this establishes an order. We always should be constant in a class. So, if they have a speaking section, have it every day. Constant, yes? We have to be constant.
Yeah, in English Club. No, English Down. I think it's English Club. English Down. There's a section for dictation. The application reads an excerpt and it gives students time. And later they can check their answers. They can also type it down on the computer if they have one, and then later they check their answers.
Yes, and in a website called Breaking News English that we checked on reading class, there is also a section for listening that has dictation, several types of dictations. Yes, so there are many websites in which you can use some of the phrases and articles to have dictations for upper courses. Freshman courses is a little bit challenging. We must use things that they are